Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Yoni.
Hello.
As promised, we've got an absolute stonkingly brilliant episode today.
All right, tell us what you really think.
Oh, no, it's really good. And we have got, guests on the show. Three guests.
Like guests.
So it's less of us and more of other people. We've got someone who has seen a ghost. This is the paranormal episode.
Yeah. Ooh.
So we've got someone who's seen a ghost.
Yeah.
Someone who hunts ghosts.
Ooh.
And someone who sees ghosts all around us and has passed away and come back to life.
Yeah, it's a pretty average episode.
So, just a normal episode. And that is what we've got in store for you in today's Generation Gapcast.
Ooh.
Bubbly, bubbly,
no,
boo.
No. You need to stop doing that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Welcome to the Generation Gapcast, where parents and kids try to understand each other, usually fail, but have a great time in doing it.
And today we're talking paranormal. Ooh. Ghosts, aliens, a bit, creepy stuff, basically everything adults said wasn't real while clearly being terrified themselves.
In my day, if something went bump in the night, we ignored it. That's called emotional maturity.
In my day, we record it, post it to TikTok and get 2 million views.
So buckle up as we explore the supernatural across generations. Who believe what? Who got scared of what? And who is still sleeping with the nightlight on?
This is the Generation Gapcast
We did it
Paranormal
together.
Special.
Paranormal Special.
Woo! We're here today now with one of my old teachers, Mr. Moss.
He's not that old.
He's not old, but he is an old teacher. No, he's not an old you get the idea. Right, over to Mr. Moss.
Was that it? Is that the introduction? So Mr. Moss, or as he's known as out of teaching world as Ben, if we're allowed to say that,
teachers have first names.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird when you meet them in Tesco, isn't it?
Actually, real people.
Some rice. You're like, oh, teachers buy rice. You emailed in actually
No, I didn't.
a story of paranormal activity that you experienced, and we thought that would be a good thing to include in our little show this week. So Ben, do you want to tell us the story of your experience with the paranormal?
We're going back to 2004 when I was 17. I was at a friend's house. They lived in East Finchley, and we were doing revision together. I would say she lived in a very old house that had a lot of creepy charm about it. And we walked into her living room, and there, sitting in an armchair, was a ghost. To me, it looked like a classic type of ghost with a pale white aura. But I was very much looking at what looked like an old man who was sitting cross-legged, dressed in what looked like a judge's cloak. And he had a wig and a white cravat on. So in that moment, I completely froze. And the friend who I was with told me afterwards that I went completely white and was just staring. And the friend I was with was talking to me, but because I was frozen, I didn't respond. And she became so terrified that she ran up the stairs, locked herself in her bathroom, and she called her parents, who were out at the time, and she begged them to come home immediately. And as she ran away, I looked away, and when I looked back, the ghost was gone. And what followed after that was pretty awkward. Her parents came home, understandably pretty confused as why they'd been summoned home in tears. And then I had to explain to them, without laughing or crying, what had happened. And I was so shaken up as well that I didn't trust myself to drive home. So I called my dad to come and collect me. And then as my dad arrived, we sat down with the family and had a very, very awkward, uncomfortable conversation. And that sort of concluded with her parents very confidently telling me that this ghost must be mine and had come to see me. And my dad and I left. I got into my dad's car and I said to my dad, I think it's definitely their ghost. And my dad laughed and said, yep, their house is absolutely haunted. So needless to say, I was never invited back to their house again.
Was the ghost?
It's a crazy story. And
did any of them say, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost?
That would have been the most amazing thing to say in the moment.
So, and have you had any experiences since then?
I have. I've had quite a few actually. And it's one of those things which has just given me the platform to sort of explore spirituality and religion a bit more, and just given me that confidence and that firm belief that there is an afterlife and there is another world outside of this physical world we live in. So I find it quite comforting, actually.
Thank you for hopping on and joining us.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Thank you for inviting me on.
We'll do it again sometime, and you can come back and talk. We might get a load of Yoni's old teachers to come on and talk about him.
And your ones that aren't in jail.
Most of my ones are dead. With us virtually in the studio
Ooh.
is Jason. Jason lives in the wonderful place of Florida, which we love, and I bet it's not raining and cold right now. But he's over there, and he is a paranormal investigator / ghost hunter. Can we say Ghostbuster? Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Just because in my crazy head, that's what that's what everyone thinks of Ghostbusters. Do you ever get sick of people saying, "Oh, you're a Ghostbuster. Where's your car? Where's your ectoplasm?" and all that business? Do you ever get that?
I let everybody have fun with it. I mean, not everybody understands what we do, so I mean, it is what it is.
Yanni?
If there's something strange.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
You had to do it.
So
right.
yeah,
Can you
it
just
was
get it out of your
it was
system?
there, and I was here, and
Just get
I
it
just
out of the
okay, yeah, that's
system.
it, yeah, done.
Right. So
Look,
this
my
is
80s self is coming in there. Don't do that.
Yeah, this is a 16-year-old singing a Ghostbusters theme. I don't know if you actually ever seen Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you showed me when I was 5 and it scared the bejeebies out of
Right,
me.
there you go. Which bit? The lady in the library.
The library ghost.
The
yeah.
library
That
ghost.
did
That's
not
the
go
bit
well.
that scares
That did not-
everybody.
That did not go down.
Yeah.
Jason, tell us what you do.
What I do is I investigate haunted buildings or places that are said to be haunted by spirits or ghosts, and I go in with equipment and try to capture EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena, on voice recorders and items like that to try to get proof of their existence is basically what I do in a nutshell.
And how have you had success?
I have had success. I've been to several different places and have gotten some pretty good evidence from some spirits. So, yeah.
What was your calling to
So
do this?
the way that I got into it, I was probably about 9 or 10 years old, and my grandfather had passed away probably the year earlier that year when I was like 9 or 10. I don't remember the year offhand. And a couple of days after his funeral, I was actually sitting in my grandparents' house where they lived, and I happened to look down the bedroom or the hallway and saw him actually looking out of the bedroom. Now, knowing he wasn't alive no more, that kind of put one of those things in my head that said, how is that possible? And that's kind of what got me interested in the field, in the paranormal, as how could that happen? So that's basically how I got started in it.
At that point, did you have a thing about them? As a
At
kid?
that point, I didn't believe in it. It wasn't until later years that I started believing in it and figured out that it's possible that this can happen.
All of my idea of paranormal things, all of it comes from the internet. A lot of the stuff online, would you say a lot of it is all fabricated, or would you say quite a lot of it's actually like more of it's real than you would think, and people have like reason to be interested in it from that?
What I would say is more of it is real than what you would think.
And lots of people I know, they believe everything they see as soon as they see it.
Right.
They'll see like YouTubers that are known for editing things.
Obviously, there are going to be those ones who like to fake evidence or fake things that are going on. But you have to really break it down and look at what you believe in. Do you believe that's real? Do you believe what you're seeing is actually real, or can it be faked? I was at the Pensacola Lighthouse one time doing an investigation there, and there was nobody in that. There was nobody in there but me and a couple of other investigators, and I actually saw like childlike hands moving in the shadows on the floor. Now there were no children in the house at the time. So there was me and I think 3 other investigators with me. So where those hands came from, I have no idea, but it freaked me out enough to where I was like, wait a minute, what is that and where did that come from?
Well, that's a bit spooky.
Yeah.
Other things that people could look out for? Are there tells that you look for when you go out hunting?
I look for cold spots or changes in the EMF field. Obviously, what I'll do when I first go to a location is I'll do what's called a baseline sweep. And then I'm going to look for cold spots or, like I said, high EMF pings. And I'm listening for things going on in the location, whether it be footsteps or faint knocks, creaking sounds. Obviously, if you're in an old building, wood can, expand and stuff like that. So you have to think about that as well. But those are some of the things that I look for.
Would you say ghosts or spirits or like whatever you could call them, would you say they could be dangerous? If like, do you reckon there are any cases that are genuine where spirits can actually harm people, or is it, do you think, more of a passive thing?
I believe there are some cases where spirits can harm people. I don't know if you've heard of places like Bobby Mackey's. Bobby Mackey's was one of those places where people have gotten scratched by an entity or a spirit before. In my opinion, yes, they can do harm, but I don't believe that every spirit is going to do that. I think it's more of they're trying to get your attention, trying to let you know that, hey, we are here and you are on our property. You are at our location.
Fine. So
Fine.
no, it's interesting.
Fine.
I'm
not been scratched. I'm all right.
No, I'm more listening to this as if I'm listening to the interview rather than doing it.
Yeah, no, he's in the trance. Yeah.
Like a question for my dad.
Yes.
Would you say your generation was wise to this in any way? Do you reckon you'd ever go into a dark place and go, oh?
Look, when we were kids, right? Because that's what kids do. There's always a group of kids in the friendship group that sits around the table, right, and does the Ouija board thing, right? Everyone's kind of tried to do that. In my mind, there was always part of my head that was like, I don't really want to go dabbling in that. That's not something that I want to get involved with.
Yeah.
Just in case there's anything in it, I don't want to be the person that disturbs something, right?
Right.
I don't know if that's a sensible approach, Jason.
Oh yeah. That's that's the sensible approach to it. Look, when I was younger, I was scared of the dark. Now I run into the dark to go find stuff.
Do you think it's a generational thing? Do you think that kids today are less afraid of things because they are more exposed to it than people of our generation?
Honestly, I think so. Because they are so exposed to it, I think they aren't afraid of it a lot. And that's thanks to a lot of the YouTube generation who are out there doing stuff like this.
So let's say it's a relative that passes and there's been no hard feelings and there was no reason, or the relative passes suddenly and the person who's lost the relative feels like they've had a visitation, or whatever you want to call it, an experience with the spirit. But they don't think it was positive, like something bad happens and they think, oh, that might have been my dad or my mum or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So I've never understood why a spirit would do that. I get the idea that someone wants to know that someone's there,
mm-hmm.
but why would they make them feel uncomfortable by doing that?
I don't believe that they're trying to do it to make them uncomfortable. What I believe is that they're stuck. There's something that is unfinished, especially if it's a traumatic event and they pass suddenly. A lot of times, what I believe is they don't know that they've passed yet.
Who doesn't know? The spirit?
The spirits, yeah. They don't believe that they have passed away yet.
Oh, wait.
Hang on.
Sorry, but have you ever watched American Horror Story?
Yes.
You know, season 1 where where the girl doesn't know she's died.
Yes.
Are you talking like something like that?
Yes, something like that. Yeah, they don't know that they've passed away yet. So they're going about living their life, thinking that they're still here, but yet they're not.
Where do they all go?
There's definitely none in England.
Where do they? No, there's nothing in England.
No, you're here. You're stuck here.
Yeah,
you can't leave.
Well, where do they all go?
That's a good question. Where do they go?
Because there's a lot of people that die all the time, right?
Yeah, and that is something that we're still trying to figure out the answer to, because we don't know where spirits go. We don't know where they go.
Do you still have doubts about the whole afterlife as a thing? Are you convinced now that there is something?
I believe there is life after death. I honestly do. I mean, with what I do with the paranormal, I do believe that there is life after death. After they pass the first couple of hours, because once that spirit leaves the body, where is it going? It's
Right.
it's
And what do you think that's the point where they go, I'm going to be a baddie or I'm going to be a goodie if they don't have that
Please
initial...
never say that again.
What?
Just
Just trying to
whatever
say
that was. No.
A bad spirit or a good spirit? Like, if I'm gonna...
Malevolent or benevolent?
What are you on
I
about?
think.
Is that right?
I think.
yes,
Maybe.
yes.
Oh, I can't believe I got that.
He
Where
got
did
it.
you get that from?
Yanni
Where's
got
that
it.
from? Where's that from?
I'm so
I'm
happy.
watching so much stuff.
To me, a lot of it can be broken down into two different types of hauntings. There's what you call a residual haunting, which a residual haunting is you basically take a tape recorder and it plays continuously over and over and over. This is something that has been imprinted in the material or the building. And then there's what you call intelligent hauntings, which intelligent hauntings are ones to where spirits can actually answer questions direct outright. Let's say you ask them to move something and that item happens to move. That's what I would call an intelligent haunting.
Did they have language, do you think? So if you went, let's say you went to Italy, would a spirit in Italy, if you were looking for a spirit in a haunted castle in Italy, would you have to ask it and do things in Italian?
I don't believe so, but I also believe
Why are you
that
laughing at
it
me?
is possible.
I'm just wondering what he's laughing at.
Such a
He's
weird
laughing at me. But because it's true. Because
Do American spirits have different language to English spirits? Do we have to speak American?
No, because if you go to a room and... but how do they know? How would the spirit know how to speak English if it was Dutch?
Because they have inbuilt Google Translate, don't they?
Google.
I mean,
you're very lucky Jason laughed there because I was going to let you dwell in that.
I was really happy. Thanks, Jason.
You're
Thanks for being with me on that one. I just couldn't resist. Do dogs have... do you think they see things that we can't?
yes.
In terms of spirits
Yes.
and stuff?
Yes. Dogs are more attuned to spirits, I believe. It's like they can sense when something is there. After my mom had passed away, my dog had actually sensed her presence in my house. It was the day she passed away, and my dogs were just acting weird that night and happened to be looking down my hallway, and I straight out said, "Mom, if you're here, come into the bedroom." I don't know why I said bedroom, because that's where I was, I guess. But yeah, you can watch my dogs. They actually followed the entire way that she walked, turned down the hallway into the bedroom, and they were just following exactly. And when she stopped at the end of the bed, that's where they were glued, and they were just hair standing up on the back of their neck, growling. So yes, I believe pets are in tuned to spirits.
Keep an eye on your dogs.
Yes.
How do people... Have you got a website and stuff to show your wares? I mean, obviously we're a bit far away over here, but...
People can find me at facebook.com/officialprg. And that's where I am on Facebook, yes.
It's been super interesting.
Thank you. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Well, we are very excited to have with us, I say in the studio, but not quite in the studio, virtually joining us, is June Edward, who is a relationship expert and psychic medium. Is that the correct job title for you?
That is correct.
There you go. I got something right, Jan.
I'm so proud of you.
All right. So June, rather than me
First time for everything.
try and regale to the audience, listeners, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure.
Because that's a lazy way of me getting out of remembering facts.
So I'm a relationship expert. I have a online program, the Relationship Mastery Program, but I do a lot of different things. I'm a psychic medium. I died when I was 27 years old due to a medical emergency, and I literally went to heaven, and I had my full life review, and I was given a choice to come back here, and I came back here by choice for my children. And it's interesting when something like that happens that's so outside your norm and your belief system, it throws everything you know up on its head. People kind of believe what they see, and you have to understand that you can only see what your eyes allow you to see because the light refracts off of a certain object, and that's how your eyes pick it up. Just like we can't see in the dark, right? Because the light is not reflecting off of anything. And animals can see things that we don't because the shape of their eye is very different. So what I've learned and what I do is I teach people how to understand energy, because everything in the universe is energy. And people don't understand it because they can't see it. But microwaves cook your food, don't they? You don't see the microwaves and it's working. There's a lot of things there that you don't see, but you can feel it with your whole body. So everyone's walked into a birthday party and felt that high energy, or a wedding, right? Or you've laughed and had a lot of fun. That's really high energy. And when we talk about energy, frequency, they're just different words for the same thing. When you're trying to pick up on something that you can't see with your eyes, this is what you have to do. You have to feel that energy with your body, and you have to get used to that feeling. Everybody sat there sometimes and they felt like somebody was staring at them, and sure enough, they turn around and someone's staring at them, right? That's the energy being focused towards you.
We were just talking actually with the other guy about
Dogs.
When you have an angel around you, and which, by the way, I used to think all this stuff was a bunch of hooey. I didn't believe in angels or saints or any of this stuff. And having died and come back, I can tell you that they're all very real. And when an angel is around you, or even a soul from the other side, they have a very high vibration. When you think of the speed of light, almost 300 million miles a second, when we're not the suit that sits here, we're this energetic soul that's inside. So when you die and you go into that light, that's the frequency of your body. That's how high your vibration is. So when they're coming to visit you from the other side, like your loved ones or your family members, they have that high vibration, and you'll feel that, okay? Now, when something evil or demonic is in your presence, it's literally such a low vibration that it will make you sick to your stomach. You'll feel it that low. It just drops. Evil is very, very dark. If you have a demon in your presence, it's blacker than black. It's incredibly black. I used to do paranormal pictures and things. I would work with authors from Canada and Europe, and they would send me their pictures and things, and they completely missed that there'd be a demon in the picture because it was black. Well, if you put it on your computer can differentiate the colors of black and see that the demon is blacker than black. And the whole thing will show up on your computer. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Angels, they're a completely separate race. They were never human. Their entire existence is to help us. But if you don't ask, they don't help. So you've got to ask.
Is it religion agnostic, this?
All religions are right and all religions are wrong. They're all based on something. They all have a purpose. If they teach you to love each other, that there is one God, and that you're here to help each other, then they're on the right track.
So an angel isn't a religious thing?
No, an angel it's an extraterrestrial body is what it is. They are a separate race. Just if you want to talk about little green men from Mars, whatever. Angels are a completely separate race here to help us. I get the first parking spot no matter where I go, no matter how busy, how crowded. I ask in advance to the angels, and guess what? As I'm pulling up, someone's pulling out, and I get the first spot every single solitary time.
And I'm going to go shopping with you. That's it. When I'm going to go to Florida, Christmas Eve,
That's it.
No,
I'm going shopping with you.
Just out of curiosity, who would we get to cleanse such house of scary ghosts?
So you can learn to do it yourself. If anyone wants to contact me, I'm happy to send them the directions for it. It's so important that I put the proper way to meditate and the proper way to cleanse your home in all of my books. I've written 4 books so far, but everything's in there. If you've got something that you cannot get rid of, then you may need an exorcism to get rid of it. If you actually have a true demonic spirit in your house, it depends.
I mean, how would you know?
You'll start having all kinds of things happen. Evil feeds off of your emotions. So for instance, if you have an attachment that you brought home that was evil, and you can pick them up in any pub, you'll start fighting in your home. Husbands and wives, sons and daughters, everybody will start fighting and bickering because it raises that negative energy and it feeds off of it.
There's a theory that I've read, and that's that you could get not necessarily. I think the word is haunted from watching and looking at different photos or media or movies.
You
even.
can.
Now,
Absolutely.
okay, so would you say that nowadays, compared to like my dad's generation, would you say there's more hauntings now, especially because people are so like with
And consume it
apps
more.
apps like TikTok, you can just scroll and then you could get
Okay,
haunted.
so first of all, there are so many more attachments, possessions type of things that about 10 years ago, the Catholic Church started training laymen, not priests, laymen in exorcisms because they could not keep up. It's constant. And you have all these new age people now thinking that we're all God. You're God. I'm God. No, we're not God. You have a God spark inside of you. That's what gives you your soul. But you are not God. There is one God. When you die, you will see there is one, only one. Doesn't matter what you call it, there is only one. And all these people that are atheists that don't believe that there's a God, they're much more easily attacked than anyone else. I tell everyone you should, number one, you should wear something around your body, like a necklace that has a religious talisman on it, whether it's a kundalini or a cross or a Mother Mary, whatever. Because when you walk into a bar or a restaurant, this is where all these souls, I call them lower vibrational entities, okay? They're souls that have stuck here, or ghosts, because they've not gone into the light. And they can't move any faster than you and I. They're at the same frequency, around 528 megahertz, okay? And if they're looking for a body, they're going to attach to you. And when I see them, it looks like you're giving a piggyback ride to a dark shadow. But they'll go home with you, and they hang around those places because they were fun when they were alive. They had music, they had alcohol, and the alcohol is called spirits for a reason because it lowers your vibration, lowers your threshold, and makes you easier for them to attach to you and take you over. But when they see religious symbols and things like that, they don't want the fight. They'll go to the next person.
I mean, my dad tells me you've worked with Ed and Lorraine Warren at some
Correct.
point. I mean, I'm a I wouldn't necessarily say a fan, but I'm very, very interested about everything to do with them.
So Ed and Lorraine have
So,
both passed.
Yeah.
And I worked with, so their daughter Judy and their son-in-law have taken over all the things that they were handling. Lorraine was still alive at that point, but she wasn't doing much of anything. She was very ill at that time. I did a house clearing of a 3-family that had a demon in it in Connecticut. And I went through their museum and gave them information on a lot of the artifacts they had in there that they didn't know the background on, things like that.
Out of like pure like curiosity here, there I've seen online, or at least I've heard about. There's I think I don't know if it's a doll, but it's like one covered in nails, I think.
The doll covered in nails.
And-
You're not talking about the Annabelle doll, the Raggedy Ann doll?
No. It's one that apparently if you look at it in the eye for too long, you're instantly haunted.
I wouldn't look at any
And-
of them too long. Even the Annabelle doll, that
Yeah.
doll is possessed by so many demons. It's incredible. I had a picture taken in front of it when I had done one of their events for them. And there was a woman that had her picture taken right after me. And when you look at her picture versus my picture, the doll had moved on its own. And when you look at the picture, you can pick out probably 12 or 15 demons in the picture inside the box with the doll.
Have you ever gone to a place where people have said there's a spirit and you've told them that they're wrong?
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah,
However, to be fair, if you've ever seen an episode of The Walking Dead, that's really what it's like. If people could see what I see, they're everywhere. There's millions of them everywhere, and they congregate. So if you've got one ghost in your house, you've got a lot of ghosts in your house. And you're in England, and you guys are crazy haunted because you're so old. But you're also
Right, so this is what I said.
I
This
think
is what we were saying
I think
before.
that's targeted towards my dad more.
But you guys have lived with it for years, and you know that most of the people that are haunting your place are relatives that are coming and going.
You hear of, let's say, a child who loses a parent, let's say as that as an example, and then they get kind of freaked by what they think is the parent, like letting them know that they're there. And I often wondered, why would the spirit, the person who passed, the ghost, the spirit, why would they make the person feel icky about it? Why would they do it
so
to
they don't
frighten
make
them?
the person feel icky. It's kind of like, I can't make you love me. I don't have that kind of power to make you anything. That's the person's problem and the person's issue out of fear. So remember, while you're here, your soul is in this body. You're having a 3D experience. You have a brain in your head, right? Most people. Well, your brain is okay. So it's a computer and it helps you process all your information, but your brain has a very specific job. Your brain's job is to protect you. How does it do that? It does it by creating fear. So automatically you're creating fear to protect yourself. So our own brains are stopping us a lot of times from seeing what we could see.
So sleep paralysis, I think you probably have a better explanation for it than me, but would you say everything you'd see in sleep paralysis is actually real and everything you don't see during sleep paralysis isn't?
And sleep paralysis can be many different things. A lot of times sleep paralysis is actually a negative entity that's in your home trying to take over your soul and your body. I would definitely cleanse my house if I'm having sleep paralysis issues. There's many, many reasons that spirits go where they go. Sometimes they're just walking in off the street because they can and they want to. There is an awful lot of spirits here that are children. It's very, very sad. I get a lot of calls from people finding children in their home that are calling them mommy, and because they died and they didn't realize they died and they're still looking for their parents.
What does Mum always say? She always she sees like birds and thinks it's her mum visiting. Is the bird the thing?
So what happens is, like my sister, for whatever reason, I did a red cardinal on her funerary card when she passed. And red cardinals will show up like crazy whenever I think about her or my sister thinks about her. Now, as soon as you say their name, they show up. But if she's thinking about me and I'm not thinking about her, the red cardinal shows up. So I know she's around. And then I'll pick up on her that she's coming. So they're sending that as a message for you to remember them, that they are not the soul in the cardinal.
Right. Okay. So it's just like, hey,
exactly. I'm here. I'm thinking about you.
So the mediums that we always see, like the TV ones, for example, you think, well, if they're that good, why haven't they kind of figured out
the lottery number?
Okay. Right.
So the reality is this. You're not going to get any information that's going to change your life path. You can't get it. I've actually given someone else the lottery number, believe it or not. I don't remember how much they won. They did win a substantial amount.
Well, I hope they gave you some back.
But this was their life path. No, they didn't actually. But was part of their life path.
Send the spirits round, June.
But it's if it's your life path that you've got lots of money coming in all the time, including lottery winners, then you're going to get it. But if that's not your life path, they cannot give you any information that's going to change your life path.
Oh.
All right, well, that's the end of that one. Can you tell us who's going to win the football tonight?
Is being a medium or psychic medium, is that a gift or is that someone anyone could activate in a way if they thought differently?
For me, it's a gift, basically because my abilities are beyond most people's. And I attribute that to the fact that I died and was in the light and my vibration is much higher than most. So I can actually go back and forth to that lowest level of heaven at will. But everyone is born with that gift, and it's a matter of developing it.
Just another random question. I'm sure lots of my friends would like to know this. Folk, I think they're folk legends, clapping in the mirror and saying Bloody Mary and getting two pencils together and saying Charlie, Charlie. Are those completely and utterly nonsense, or are they walking down the stairs backwards with a mirror, that kind of thing? Is that all nonsense, or is there some truth to it?
They're nonsense, but there's a little bit of truth buried in everything, right? Because honestly, mirrors can be a portal. Not all mirrors are portals, but mirrors can be a portal, and spirits can travel through them.
Do you see more young people being more tuned into this nowadays?
Sadly, I'm finding more young people are not believing in God, number one. They're believing this new age thing that we're all gods, which is not the case. A lot of them are atheists. They don't believe there's any God, which is not true. They're very into, the paranormal, ghost hunting. Yeah, it's fun. It's cool, but be very careful what you look for because you may bring home something you don't want.
So basically, don't mess around with stuff you don't understand.
Would you say watching movies like The Conjuring risk yourself getting haunted?
Yes and no. I think it lowers your threshold a little bit. You've got to be, you're more interested. You're more apt to put yourself in a situation that could get an attachment for you. There used to be these series on TV that had some really crazy haunted stuff, and they were the Creep Show or something was one of them. They were really scary. And so what happens is they think you're inviting them in, because they're all around. Literally. I mean, when you stop your car at a stop sign and they want to get from one end of town to the other, they'll hop in the back seat of your car. They're everywhere. People just can't
they just float?
see them.
Can't they just float
They
around?
don't float. They walk,
Right.
just like you and me. I did go grocery shopping one day, and, when I'm not working, they don't engage with me. That's kind of my rule. And there was a guy at the front door who looked really disheveled, like kind of a bum. And I gave him a second look. And when I gave him the second look, he was a spirit. He's like, "You can see me." And I'm like, "Oh, why did I look?" And got very angry that I'm like, "Look, I'm sorry. I'm not working." He goes, "You need to talk to me. You can see me." I'm like, "I'm really sorry." He picked up a bag of like bread and threw it. And it went about 3 feet. But the poor woman at the register saw it and was totally freaked out.
I think
no, not to go shopping with you.
I thought you would get a parking space.
Yeah, get a parking space. You have bread thrown at you, so there's a trade-off.
What would you say out there right now is the most definitive proof of everything that you say is true?
Miracles. There's a miracle everywhere, every day. You just have to open your eyes and see it. If you want miracles in your life, ask. Learn how to meditate. Learn how to work with the energy in the universe.
Because this is what Ben said about how he felt more spiritual after he had that. And he
So
saw
would
the
you
ghost.
say everyone should be as religious as possible? So everyone
It's
should
not about religion.
like
It's
aspire.
not religion, because religion is a structured doctrine. Like I said, they're all right and they're all wrong. However you choose,
Fine.
know that there are souls there to help you on the other side. You have a guardian angel, which is not actually an angel, but another soul there to help you. They're there all the time to help you. Everyone on the other side is really there to help you, but you have to ask. When you start asking, really, it's like Christmas every day. It's amazing, because everything that's happening in this world right now, it's not politics. It plays out in politics, but it's a war of good and evil. And what's the prize? Your soul. God wants your soul. The devil wants your soul. Who's going to get it? That's the game.
I'm going to tell all my friends tomorrow. I can't wait to tell people like what
we're learning. It's been really, really interesting.
Yeah, anybody
June,
that
actually.
wants to email me, just go to my website and send me a message through there, juneedwood.com. I'll be happy to send you the instructions to meditate properly so that you can protect yourself and you can start talking to angels and things yourself.
Amazing. June, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
been great, and I'm still jealous that you live in Florida.
I'm
Even
blessed.
though when you are extremely blessed in several ways, it seems. Thank you very, very much, June. Appreciate your time, and you're super busy, so thanks for hanging
My
out with
pleasure.
us.
Oh, you're very welcome. I love educating people and teaching them what they can't see.
Well, that's our paranormal special. We've learned that ghosts terrify boomers, aliens excite millennials, and Gen Z is mostly scared of Wi-Fi glitches.
Seriously, a ghost in the attic? Fine, but my phone freezing? Pure horror.
And remember, if something does go bump in the night,
It's probably just your dad looking for snacks.
before my dignity fully goes, thank you everyone for listening.
And if you do see a ghost,
Tell them to like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you all. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you to our amazing guest. It's been
Yes.
it's really interesting and a little bit scary, but never mind.
yeah, don't mind me just rethinking life.
And that's it. Don't forget to email us. What was it? Office studio?
at
studio at
GenerationGapcast.com.
and you can find us on all the podcast channels on www.com.
And someone can tell dad that he can take a breath.
www.com.
Generation Gapcast. The end.